Hello and welcome to Fire in the Belly in the Boardroom Talk. Today we're lucky enough to have the future Sir Gary Doherty coming back. He's not a Sir yet, but he will be soon. And it's an absolute honour to have Gary back on again. So we had Gary on talking about his life story earlier this year. And since then he's been a very busy boy. So time to bring Gary into the scene and give us a bit of an update. Gary, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Pete. It's a pleasure. Last time I was on with you, I'm going to say was late last year, November, December, and a lot has happened since then. And I mean a lot. Probably the most productive period of my life, actually. The last, 9-10 months. I remember distinctly in our last podcast, I was licking my wounds a bit about TEDx Dairy, Londonderry, and I want to really go on deep in that here, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, why has it been the most productive? What are we on now? 6-7 months of your life?
Yeah. Well, I think my intention and my desire and persistence, and I suppose people talk about the law of vibration, and I'm very much into the universal laws that right now as we speak, because I believe that I've been vibrating at a level where I'm attracting a whole lot more than I ever have before. So much abundance in my life, and that isn't just financial. I don't mean in all areas. My health, my friendships, my network, my business, my confidence, business interests that I'm involved in, things that I've been asked to do, collaborations that are coming thick and fast at me, not the other way around, it feels amazing, and I feel that that's why the last 10 months have been the most productive 10 months of my life, despite everything that's been going on in the world. I believe that I am on the crest of a wave. I believe I'm in that flow state, and I am going to capitalize on all areas of my life for the greater good of Think Network, everybody that's involved, everybody that I'm in contact with, everybody that I collaborate with, everybody that supports me. We're just in a really, really, really good moment, and have been for some time, and we will be for some time.
Awesome. I love that. So just give us a bit of a background, Gary, as to who you are, where you've come from, and what's brought you up to this journey.
Okay. Well, I'm 44 years young. I have had a very inquisitive mindset in my adult life, not so much when I was younger. I had less confidence, and I didn't sort of flourish as a human being, I suppose, if you want to call it, until mid-20s maybe. I had a very influential mentor in my life, Marshall McCollum, and he lit a fire in me, and that's been burning ever since and getting bigger, and will continue to. I've had various different roles, never always knew that I had something else to offer, but I didn't know what it was, didn't know what my purpose was. It took me 42 years to find my purpose. And I found it, and I'm here now. Not only that, when I found my purpose, I then investigated why it was my purpose. A lot of people, when they find something they're passionate about, they just roll with it. I actually wanted to know more. I wanted to know why is this actually something I want to do? Why is it? Why do I want to empower the world? Why do I want to be a positive change in the world? What's wrong with just doing it in Limavady? What's wrong with just, I wanted to know why I was feeling like this, and why I was enjoying these good things that were happening, and all this buzz that was going on, and the movement that was happening, and the abundance coming into my life. I wanted to know why, and that's a really important part. And I've just been so intent on driving on, and I've had a affiliation with the world famous empowerment platform TED. TED is a global empowerment platform, and I started my own business, Think Network, which is I'm going to call it a more commercial version of TED, but with the same essence of TED. But about 2 years ago, Pete, 2.5 years ago, I had this itch to to, I knew I was doing a lot of charity work, and I was doing bits and bobs, and I knew that part of my purpose was to serve others. I knew that. And then I started to find my passions and motivational speaking, empowering, these motivational talks. And I thought to myself, well, wouldn't that be amazing to live my life through that lens? Be, I was looking at the TED platform and I was thinking, I would love to be affiliated with that platform. In 1986, I'm going to say 86, it's either 84 or 86, TED brought out TEDx. And the X stands for independently organized events. TED was some perceived it as quite elitist. People spent a fortune to speak on the stage, and you spent a fortune to sit in the audience. They listened to the person that spent a fortune to be on the stage. And TED realized through a guy called Chris Anderson that they needed to embrace communities. They needed to touch everybody in the world. And they brought out TEDx. And TEDx is a license-held event, independently organized. And I thought, I want to host one of them. I want to do. And I researched it, and there had never, ever, ever, ever been one in my city. The city I was born in, Derry, Londonderry, the city I love, the city I'm from, the city my parents are from, my grandfather, all my family are from. And I thought that would be pretty cool. And I couldn't believe that it had never been done before, Pete. Never had been done before. I couldn't believe that. I was shaking my head thinking, where the hell have people been for 26 years? Why has somebody not grabbed this by the scruff of the neck and brought it to Derry? Why? I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I've seen myself visibly shaking my head. Like I remember one day just thinking, I just can't believe nobody has had the ability to do that. So I winged in an application. I researched it, and I winged in an application about a year and a half ago, roughly. 6 weeks later, dear Gary, as it is. Dear Gary, thank you for your interest in the platform. We've had a quick look at your application and have decided that it's not fit for purpose. You haven't been granted your license. Thank you for your interest in TED. We hope you enjoy our content as much as we do. And I wasn't surprised. And rightfully so, I was turned down. I hadn't given the platform the respect it deserved with the preparation in the application that it deserved. Okay? Me being me, persistence, desire, commitment, they're attributes that God has blessed me with, and thank God for that. Zero talent, but that grit just to keep going like a marathon runner to get to the end. Zero talent, I believe, but I was firm in my intention, Pete. This was like a high type B strokes type C goal. Some will say it's not a type C goal because there's an application method. You just have to go and follow it and do it and all the rest of it. But when it's never been done before, and there's no pathway, and there's nobody to give you counsel, and there's nobody to tell you how they've done it before, and there's nobody to show you the way, that's type C stuff for me, regardless of an application form. Anybody can fill it out, not everybody can get it. You know what I mean? And I felt the second application I took my time with, and I applied again. Maybe took about a month to plan the application. Second application went done. I would say I was about 7 out of 10 confident that I would get a positive result. At this stage, I was still a bit of a TED novice in terms of their expectation levels. Second application went in, buoyant, confident, almost expected to get it. 6 weeks later, dear Gary, we've reviewed your application and we are sorry to tell you that that it hasn't been successful. Thank you for your interest in the TED platform. We hope you enjoy our content as much as we do. And I thought, okay, that's a kick in the teeth. So, but again, desire, persistence, commitment comes back to your why and how much you want it. How much you want it. I wanted it, Pete, honestly. I can hand on heart and say publicly, and this will be public, this talk. I knew in my heart of hearts, I wanted it like nobody ever in 26 years that had applied for it in Derry. And there had been many people applied for it, by the way. Many. It's not as if it hadn't been applied for before. Many people had applied for it, but they couldn't even agree in the name. You know, Derry being a sort of hot potato, maybe through troubles and stuff. And nobody wanted to call Ted Derry. Nobody wanted to call TEDx London Derry. And I said, I'll call it both. We'll embrace everybody, all sides of the community, no matter who you are and what you are. This is for you. And I think that blew them away. As basic and all as that sounds. And I went away and I volunteered at TED events. I went away and I attended more TED events. I even got myself to a stage where I was asked to be a judge for the next TED speaker at a local event. I was now Mr. TED locally. You know, I use a phrase, Pete, all in. You're either all in or forget about it. You know, I'm not interested in half measures for anything. And that applies to life. That's me in life. Whether that be health and fitness, training, whatever it is, I'm all the way in, or I'm not doing it. Because I can't commit, I just can't be half-assed at anything. It has to be the whole way. So the third application went in, and I thought, right, my good Lord, I've bound to have learned a lot of lessons here now. That even the language you use in your application is critiqued. The wording is critiqued. The theme that you pick is critiqued. The speakers that you anticipate using are critiqued. The language that you use and the perspective that you're coming from is critiqued. Everything is under a microscope, right? But I felt I'm ready to be under that microscope now. Third application went in. I thought, right, you know, I have to get this. And I had the podcast with you right bang in the middle of that third application being in. And interestingly, 6 weeks took me up to Boxing Day, or not, Christmas Eve of last year, 2019. And would you believe it? They took the full 6 weeks. And on Christmas Eve, I got the unwanted gift. Dear Gary, we have reviewed your application. You've been unsuccessful on this occasion. We just would like to place on record our appreciation of your continued enthusiasm for the platform. And we hope you enjoy the content as much as we do. And I was defeated, Pete. I felt defeated in that moment. I'm not going to lie. People think when a lot of people think when somebody achieves great success or an achievement and they see the tip of the iceberg, they don't see the 90% of it underwater and struggling. They don't see the struggle. People don't see the struggle. And you see, over Christmas, that was Christmas Eve, I learned that. So you can imagine what my Christmas was like, you know, mentally for me. And I felt deflated. I felt for the first time I could be defeated here. I felt like giving up. I have to say, I did feel like giving up. And I shared those thoughts with some people in a group that I'm in, a TIR group. And I shared those thoughts. And I was reading Think and Grow Rich at the time as well. And I came across I'm going to say story, some people say parable, was the story about the 3 feet from gold. The guy mining for gold, and he stops 3 feet from it, gives up, sells the machinery to a scrap man, who then keeps mining for 3 feet, strikes gold, and changes his life. And I was actually reading that story at that time, and I was sharing my innermost thoughts about giving up. And most people were saying, "You don't need it, Gary. You don't need that. Why do you want it? Give up. Forget about it." Forget about even people that should know better were encouraging me to give up. And I'm talking about influential people and that knew what it meant to me. And when your desire and your vision and your mission and purpose are so, so, so great, don't give up. Find another way. Change the plan. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. Do not give up. That is the worst advice anybody can give you. What people should have been doing was giving me scenarios, saying, well, what of this and what about that? Not telling me to give up. It's like no man should ever come between another man and a woman. No man should ever tell somebody to leave a partner. You know what I mean? Like the Bible tells you that no man should come between a man and a woman, or a woman between a man and a woman. You should give advice, but you should never tell somebody to leave a marriage, for example, unless, of course, there's safeties. But you get my thinking, and I took that personally. People were giving me this advice to walk away, and I thought, you've just lit the fire again. Thanks. The fire never went out, but it was simmering. It was simmering. I was feeling flaky. I was wavering. I was feeling down, but I wasn't out. And interestingly, I had a big event to focus on, which was on the 30th of January. It was Think Resilience. You were at it, and Brian Kennedy was the speaker. So I had 4 weeks to focus my energy on something that I needed to nail and I needed to happen. And we did. We sold 340 tickets, fully packed out, sold event, and the ripples and waves after that are still being talked about, and it was an amazing event. But 1 week after that event, I thought, right, I'm going back here again. And this time I'm coming back with a vengeance. This time, there will be no reason, zero reason they can tell me I haven't got this license. Zero reason. And I even said that in the application form. When I would a note with the application form, I just said, I expect an approval for this license after everything that I've done, my commitment to the platform. I just told them. I just thought there's nobody better placed in Derry or Northern Ireland or the globe to deliver a TED event than me. Nobody anywhere, and not alive. That's how passionate I am about it. That's how all in I am about it. That's how, I wasn't stopping 3 feet from gold. That was my goal. And I wasn't stopping for anybody. Nobody, not even TED themselves. And I actually said to them in the application, you would just do as well giving me the license, because I'm coming back a 5th time, a 6th time, and a 7th time. And I meant it, Pete. I was, and I would have. And I put in the application. This time, I wasn't so sure, because of obviously the three failures, which were only temporary failures. But I put in the application, and I worked out the 6 weeks. The 6 weeks took me up to I'm going to say 12th of March, roughly. I'm going to say 12th of March, might be out, my dates there by a few days. And so I was moving towards that date with hopeful optimism. Because what I've actually failed to mention is, do you see the whole journey before that? Do you see that whole year and a half or whatever it was? I was away. I'm a big visualization practitioner. And I don't just visualize it. I get into the emotion of it. I feel it. The hairs on my arms stand. I've got myself into an emotional state before being so emotionally attached to a Type C goal. And that's why I make Type C goals happen, because I am so attached to them. And then you manifest them because your vibration's so high and you're attracting them with massive action thrown in, and without fear of public failure, because I'm a believer in, it's okay you believing in something, right? And you need to have the courage to tell other people you believe in it. It's like somebody saying they're a Christian, but they'll not say it publicly. Your faith isn't that strong. When you'll not have the courage to say it out loud. I said it out loud. I set up social media channels and said it out loud to the world. I said it to everybody that would listen, and anybody that would listen. In 2019, I was coming for it, and I was going to deliver it. I had photo shoots. We red jumpers on and red scarves on, and the Guildhall in Derry, £300 photo shoots. I must have spent £1,000 in photo shoots, because I wanted to feel it. I wanted to be there as if I was there. And guess what? I'm there. And I was publicly scorned on social media, on private mail, in groups. I know people, I was the butt of a joke. You know, what's he doing standing at a pulpit in the Guildhall with a red jumper on? He's a fool. He's a fool. He'll never bring it to Derry. Sure, it's never been here. He's failed already. Why would they come to Derry? Why would they give him a license? He's a fool. He'll never do it. That'll never happen. It's never been done before. I was the joker. I was the big mouth. Who does he think he is? Well, they know now. They know now who I am. And they know now the event's coming to Derry. And they know now that my persistence and my determination paid off. They know now, every single one of them. And you see the doubters and the haters and the naysayers, they're all now followers. They're all now coming along for the journey. And that's great, because I don't hold any ill will. Brilliant. It's beautiful. Come along. Come along. No, we'll not be going for a beer, but I mean, come along anyway. Enjoy the ride. I want you to. They're now followers. The people that laugh at you when people are going for type C goals. That's what I want people to hear, by the way, Pete. That's my biggest message. People are scared of scorn and what other people think when they go for type C goals. You know what I mean? I was speaking to a podcaster recently. I done a podcast, Best of Belfast or Belfast something. I don't know what it's called. But I done a podcast recently with a guy. And I turned it to him. I said to him, what's your goal about with your podcasting? I don't know. I said, you should want to be the next Joe Rogan. You should want your podcast to be the number one in the world, and you should be telling people that. Have the courage or your conviction, say it out loud, and then go after it like your life depends on it, or go after it. It's more important than your life or death. Is it life or death, or is it more important? And I think I've let a wee fire in him, by the way. But so that's what pursuing TEDx Derry, Londonderry. And on the 6th of March in Lusty Big in Enniskillen, I was sitting, we had just ordered a meal just before lockdown, a week before lockdown it was. I was sitting, Nina, the social media manager, had invited me down to check out the place. I'd never been. And she said, why don't you come down? I'll look after you. Nice big log cabins. And we went down and we stayed in a most beautiful big log cabin. We went up for dinner, 6:32. I have it screenshotted, sitting just ready for my meal to come down. And the email comes through from Ted. Hi, Gary. No, dear Gary, we are delighted to tell you that you have been awarded the prestigious TEDx Derry, Londonderry license. We thank you for your persistence and commitment and enthusiasm to the brand, and we feel there is nobody better than you to deliver that event in that city. And thank you for persevering with it. And Pete, I can't tell you the feeling that came over my body. And you know, unless you've been chasing, unless you're a dream chaser like me, most people won't get that. You know, they won't understand what that meant to me. But I was tearful. I had a few beer. I recorded a few videos because I wanted to document the feeling there and then. I was going to say the rest is history, really, isn't it? You know, we've done it. We haven't delivered it yet, but that's the easy part. That's the fun part. That's the part. People talk about nerves and they talk about, you know, bright lights and nerves and stuff. Man, I'm coming alive with that there. I cannot wait the showtime, the lights, camera, action. That's fun time. The hard work that's the tip of the iceberg. That's the fun time. 29th of January in Derry, we deliver a truly historic event. TEDx Derry, Londonderry, a first forever legacy event. There'll only ever be one first. Only ever. be one first, whether there's 100 after. I'm committed to doing them for the next 10 years, by the way, and then I'll be passing the baton on to whoever wants it. And by that time, I'll have created a cult following for TED, that there'll be people that will have seen the way being shaped and will want to do it. Whereas before, and believe that they can do it, because I will have mentored and coached somebody by that stage, that they just to hand the baton over and say, there you go. Now we've done it. Keep going. Keep doing it. And I cannot wait for it, honestly. This podcast, this here is going out after the speaker announcement, which is next Tuesday. We have got 14 speakers who will be speaking for 10 minutes each, and they're going to deliver a talk of a lifetime, and the talk is going to go onto the TEDx YouTube channel with 25 million YouTube subscribers, and their talk is going to change the world. I believe there's going to be 1 or 2 talks in that event with all the eyeballs that are on it. And particularly, we have got one young fella, Adam B, the dairy YouTuber, that's got 3 million subscribers. He's going to be vlogging it and blogging it and speaking at it. This event will go viral. And his talk alone will get at least 3 million views. He has 3 million subscribers, and every damn one of them will click on his thing. And you see, when they do click on that, they'll look at the next speaker, and they'll look at the next speaker. And it's never been a more opportune moment for one of those 14 people for their talk to go viral and change their life, change somebody else's life, and change the world. And I believe that could be your talk, Pete. Pete is one of the speakers at TEDx Dairy, and that's I'm going to say an exclusive. It's an exclusive between me and him live now, but it's the listener now, because the 1st of September it's announced, and that's powerful, really powerful. The theme for the event is Imagine Change, because I want people to imagine change in the world, and I want people, the speakers, to have ideas that are worth spreading. It's not about a bio talk or like a life story. This is about a speaker's talk that they think that could change the minds of people around the world. And that is honestly, the hairs in the back of my neck around here standing talking about it. That's how passionate I am about this. But this, anybody listening as well, this event isn't about me. I am now that I've got the license, I am the least important person associated with the event. I am the least important person associated with the event. I will not be speaking at the event. I will not be hosting the event. I am facilitating the event and project managing it and bringing it together and helping create the talks. The speakers are the most important people. The speakers are the event. The speakers, the 14 speakers, and the message that they have are the event. Their message to the world is the event. And that for me, that's a beautiful thing too. And it's a beautiful thing for me to be able to facilitate that for 14 people. And I truly am humbled by that somebody with no talent, 0 talent, good at damn all, but that believes so much, that persistency and commitment and desire that anything is possible. And that's how I see myself. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's coming together just at a nice time. It's coming together at a nice time for the world. This is the best time in the world and the worst time in the world, all at the damn same time. This is a time of opportunity. This is a time where people need hope, motivation, inspiration, and empowerment like they've never needed in a lifetime. Ever. This pandemic has swept through the world, killing millions of people. And people need hope. They need empowerment. They need inspired. They need motivated. They need something. And we're giving it to them. And this event will give it to them. And it'll give it to 25 million people minimum from one event. And that's such a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. And honestly, I cannot wait. I've had sleepless nights with excitement, and I'm 6 months out. That's how much this means to me, Pete. That's how much this means to me. And with my own empowerment platform, Think Network, there's been obvious knock-on benefits to that by association. Everybody wants to speak. Everybody wants in a group. Everybody wants up close and personal, and that's great. And I am going to capitalize on all of that because my family deserves that. I personally deserve abundance in my life. I've been through hell and worse, with losing a business, losing a home, losing my mind nearly. And some might say I've lost my mind again. And guess what? They're right. I'm giving my mind to this here. I'm insane. I've lost my mind to Think Network and the TED platform. And that's why I will do what nobody else is doing, and what we will do collectively that nobody else has ever done or ever will do again. I think it was Van Gogh, the artist, said he lost his mind to his passion. And a lot of people thought that's why he was so good at what he did, and that's why he was a creative and a groundbreaker and all the rest of it. I feel the damn same way. Honestly, I feel I've lost my mind to what I'm doing. And that's okay, because I've given it. It's been willing. I've done it with a whole heart. And you must be all in, all the way. Don't stop 3 feet from gold. Go for your dreams, a whole lot of them and more. And why not? Because you see, if you don't realize that you are deserving of them, you'll never receive them. If you don't realize that you're deserving of them, you'll never ever receive them. All your visions, that all they are is dreams. You know, be a dream chaser, but more importantly, be a dream maker. Be a dream maker. And that's what I want to say to everybody. Be a dream maker. Live a life I've never been done before. That's what I'm doing. I'm living a life I've never been done before. Ever been done before. We're going to turn, the TEDx event's going to be there for the next 10 years. I'm going to turn up in Vegas. I'm partnering with Beyond Words with Think Network. We're partnering with, we're going to be partnering with Serenity Press in Perth, Australia. I've already an event there planned in 2022. There's another exclusive. Nobody in the world knows that, but you all do now. I could very well pop up in the World Book Fair in Dusseldorf in April 2021. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if I pop up in a world best-selling book with my own chapter. Don't be surprised, because I want to live a life I've never been done before. I'm 44 years of age, and I'm going to live to I'm 144, and that's another never been done before. Who says I'm not? Who says I'm not? You know what I mean? Nobody knows. I'm going to aim for it anyway, and that's just my passion, Pete, and that's where I'm going. So there you are, and that's all without a breath. That whole half hour there is without even taking a breath.
Why?
Why what?
Why do you do it?
I do it because my why, 7 levels deep with internationally renowned personal development guru Cleon O'Hara. I take my hat off there. A mentor and a friend and a confidant and an unofficial business partner, if you want to call it. And we will always be together that way. Always. I build relationships and I keep them forever, all in the whole damn way, all the time. Cleona done a 7 levels deep exercise with me the first time I met her, and we started off with, Gary, why are you doing this here? Same conversation, same question you just asked me. Why? Oh, I'm doing it for my family, Cleona. Yeah. So are 180 million people in the world, or whatever it is. They're all working for their family, so that's okay. Let's put that aside. Why are you doing it for your family? Oh, because I want to earn lots of money for them. Okay, so you're doing it for your family. You want to earn lots of money. Why do you want to earn lots of money for your family? Because I want them to have a good life. Okay, so now you're doing it for your family, to earn money for a good life. Why do you want the good life? Because when I was younger, I wanted my father to provide that for me when I was. Why did you want? Why? And I got down to the 7th level deep, and I need to be diplomatic about how I put this out here, because for obvious reasons. But the bottom line is, my why is because I wanted my children to be proud of me. Maybe perhaps the way I never felt maybe that anybody was maybe that proud of me. I wanted my children to be proud of me. My family, my beautiful wife who I'm married to 20 years, my 3 beautiful children, 13, 19, 24, my 2 grandsons, 4 and 2, Mason and Noah. You know, I want my family to look and say, look, you know, can you believe what he's done? Like, we're so proud of him. He has created, he's lived a life of, he's done things that we didn't know was possible. Now we can do them too. I wanted to change mindsets and possibilities and boundaries of what people could achieve. I wanted to break all them down, and ultimately I wanted them to be proud of me, and that will be the justification for it all. When I don't know, when I truly feel that, or know that, or reach that destination. And that's my why. And you see, when you have a why like that, that's a very powerful mindset. That's a very, very, very powerful mindset. Who is going to stop me doing a damn thing if I am doing it for my children and their pride in me? Nobody. If I said I wanted to run 100 mile, if that was say it was a purpose I had, there's nothing would stop me that I would do that, Pete. I mean, nothing. Now, thankfully, that's not a purpose of mine. but you take the sentiment. What I'm saying, if I wanted to, and I got emotionally in touch with that, and I realised that would make my family proud of me. I'm telling you now, I would do it, and I might run a couple more just for good measure. There's nothing would stop me, honestly. And I just want to live a life I've never been done before. I want to, when I'm dead and gone in 144 years' time, or 100 years' time, and my children then could flick onto a YouTube channel and say, there's my dad. You know, that's the event that he brought to the city. There's my dad speaking at a TED event, because I'm speaking at a TED event, TEDx Cookstown. I'm chatting to the creator of the day, Claire O'Hanlon, MB. Big shout out to Claire. Big fan. She's a motivation for me. She's also speaking at TEDx Derry. A phenomenal human being, and I'm honoured to actually even just be in a conversation with her in the same conversation. And my talk, you best believe, will go around the world. I believe my talk will go around the world, because you see, when I get in that red dot, I'm going to give it 10 minutes like my life depends on it, and more. It'll not be life or death. It's more important than that. Life and death comes and goes. This is far more important than that. This is forever. Forever. You'll be out there on a platform where people can click on your talk in 500 years' time, and it could change their life. That's what I'm out for. Forever stuff. Forever, forever, forever. And that's why. How's that for a why?
Pretty strong.
Yeah. And that's the truth, honestly. That's from my heart. That's no bullshit. That's unfiltered. That's my way. And some people will say, you know what, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that. That's okay. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
Let's go straight in the deep end. Talk to us about ego.
Yes.
I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to say this is an ego project. So
listen,
what do you say?
I say, who doesn't like to be liked? Who doesn't love to be loved? Anybody that says that is listening to this now, well, I'm sorry, I don't believe you. Okay, that's the first thing, right? The second thing is there ego attached? Does that mean there's ego attached? Probably, to a small extent, however, because mine is a serving mentality. My mindset is different. I would encourage anybody that strongly feels that he's egotistical, or he's arrogant, or he's ultra confident, or whatever. You can never be too confident. Just don't get it twisted here. You can never be too confident. Humble confidence. Here's one for you. The people that have that mindset, they wouldn't if they felt how I felt, or they wouldn't if they seen what I feel I can see, or they wouldn't if they knew what I feel I know from my own perspective and my why and purpose and all the rest of it. So what I say to anybody is, you know, this ain't about me. I said it earlier on. Before you even asked me that question. What did I say about who's the least important person at the event? I am the least important person at the event, and I mean that with my heart, genuinely. This event isn't about me. This event is about 118,000 people in Derry being able to say that event was in our city. We are so proud of our city that we were able to carry that off. That was able to come to our city. That's able to showcase some of the talent in this country, particularly Derry as well. That's not about me. The event's TEDx Derry, London Derry. It's not about Gary Doherty. Do I get great satisfaction from facilitating it? Of course I do, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. No unmanageable ego involved. Is there a small part of ego involved? Yes. We all like to be liked. We all love to be loved. And anybody saying any different, well then I'm sorry, we're going to have to respectfully disagree. But for me, you know, I could be doing other things if it was ego driven. I could be doing a lot of other things associated with different things that if it was purely ego driven. For me, I personally don't feel. I could see how some might think differently, but then we're just different mindsets, aren't we? And I'm not apologising for that, because I am who I am, and thank God for it. And I'm so grateful. It's took me 44 years to get to this point. I wasn't always in this frame of mind, but I am now. And I'm very, very, very truly grateful. And when you have a serving mentality, it doesn't allow you to have ego, Pete. When you do, a serving mentality doesn't allow you to have an ego that would overtake that. When you truly feel like that, when you truly are wanting to help people, how can you have an ego if you're truly looking to help other people? Having an ego, you'd be self-serving. You'd be helping yourself first. For 2 years, Pete, with Think Network, I didn't make a penny. And all my events, if you go back, and they're all documented, they were all for charity. Autism, NI, different bits and bobs. The face shields, we done face shields. You know, ego driven for me is self-serving. And just look at the stuff that we have done that's documented on YouTube, over social media, and every other place. It's been serving, and that from my heart is where I've been coming from. That's what I'd say to anybody that thinks so. It's all the Gary show, you know. Maybe maybe a wee tiny of it, a bit of it is, but it has to be as well for my family. I deserve to receive abundance in my family too.
Absolutely, and I mean, ego keeps you alive too, you know. But I really wanted to square that off with you. The other thing I would say is, do you have a point to prove?
To me, the only person I'm in competition with is me. I believe I had something to offer. I had something to give to the world, not just being a 95. I just felt I had a bigger purpose. Now I've found my purpose, and I'm here. And point to prove, the only person that you should be in competition with is yourself, to be better than you were before. And it all sounds very cliche and all the rest of it, but when you mean it like I mean it, it's not cliche. You know, I want to be a better version of myself all the time. That said, see, through some self-care work that I've done recently, I've done a bit of one-to-one with a very well-respected, I was going to say like a coach. I am acutely aware of having self-care and to not be too hard on myself, because I'm not perfect and I'm very far from it. In fact, I've got too many flaws to mention in a podcast for a start, and but I am the best version of myself that I've ever been right now, and have been, and I'm a work in progress. But I am aware not to be too hard on myself, to implement self-care into my program of this insane journey that I'm on, and I have been doing that. It's almost been like a unconscious component doing it, because I hadn't actually been told or even told myself I was doing it, but I had implemented things like I've joined a gratitude group gratitude and well-being group that I pay for once a month is kicking off next week, and I will be in that, and we'll be meditating, and there's Reiki, and there's gratitude, and there's affirmation, stuff that I do anyway, but I wanted to create structure doing it. Structure and processes are ingredients to true success. You know, I've winged it long enough, and I need to create structure and processes to really go through the levels that Think Network deserve and that my association with TED deserve.
Are you proud?
Am I proud?
Mm.
I will be. To an extent. Am I satisfied? To an extent. Am I fulfilled? I am fulfilled because of where I'm going and where I know I'm going. I am fulfilled with a purpose and a satisfaction that way. And I haven't just reached those, and I don't know if I ever want to. There's one for you. I don't know if I ever want to. For me, that's like handbrake. That's like what else? That's like, okay, you've done it. That's like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I ever want to. I will enjoy many successes along the way. I'll enjoy many successes and moments along the way. Me and my wife had a meal out last night, and we celebrate the success of me going full-time with Think Network. And we celebrated that. You know, we went out with each other, and we were able to talk and look at each other and say, it's been a long road to get here, but we're here now. And the journey now really starts. And so never fully satisfied or fully proud, but yes, there's some pride. Yeah, I'm proud that I was the first guy to ever bring the license to Derry, and but I'm not really that overly content with it until the event hasn't happened. You know, it's still not here. It's still this COVID thing is, you know, but I don't. That'll not stop it either. That'll not stop it either, unless Boris, unless he tells me I can't come out of the house. I'll be coming out on the 29th of January, and that event will be going ahead. Whether there's 100 people in the audience or whether there's nobody in the audience, the speakers will be on the red dot. The 100 people in the audience is, what's the best way to say this here without it sounding negative? But what I mean is the 100 people in the audience and me are almost, I'm not going to say the least important thing, but because it's going on to the YouTube channel where 25 million, including those 100 people, will get to see it anyway. Yeah. So the 14 speakers will be on that dot in that venue, delivering their talk down a camera, and it will go on to that YouTube channel. And not even COVID is going to stop that happening. I'm telling you now, not even COVID will stop that happening. Mark my words, that's happening.
Are you pain or pleasure driven at this time?
Both at the damn same time. I'm searching for the uncomfortable all the time. And then I'm searching for the uncomfortable all the time. I found myself the other day, Pete, that's interesting you asked that. I found myself the other day, you know, sort of being in a floaty state where I was like, oh, right, you know, this was happening, a sponsorship had happened, and I got this announcement for that, and the other thing had happened, and I thought, you know, and I was nearly too content, and I was itching. I thought, this is, you know, we need to be growing here. We need to be doing something. We need to be extending this a bit more. We need to be reaching out a bit more. We need to be, you know, that was the day just, you know, that was the day that I struck the big deal with Ulster University. Ulster University are going to be the home of TEDx Derry, Londonderry for the next 10 years. The next 10 years, they're going to be the home of TEDx Derry, Londonderry, and they're going to be the diamond partner and headline sponsor for the next 10 years. And I was feeling like that day, that morning before that meeting. I thought, well, we need to, we need to be groundbreaking. We need to do more. I don't want to be in a comfortable state with this here, because that's when you slip. That's when you go backwards. That's when you go into mundane mode. That's when it's just another event. That's when it's the same as every other damn TEDx event around the world. This is different. I'll tell you now, Pete, even the way we're announcing the speakers is different. We're having an event for the event. Every other TED event round the world, I've researched it. Every other TED event, no disrespect, I love them all. And I support them all. And they're all brilliant. And they've all fulfilled all their obligations amazingly. Nobody is doing it like we're doing it. This had to be special. I wanted this to be special for all involved. And I'm not in the limelight for any of it. I'll not be standing on a red dot. I'm not being recorded at it. It's you. And Chris Suter is going to be the host. And it's the sponsors' names up in highlights. My name will not be anywhere. My picture will not be anywhere other than what I put in social media, which might be somewhere. But you get the sentiment, though. So, don't even know where I was going with that. But so it's special. Pain and pleasure are the same thing for me. They're the same thing. There's no difference. It's all the same for me. It's blurry for me. It's all the same. All the same. I just take moments of pleasure, moments of satisfaction when I'm able to do something for my family through success of what we've achieved, or we're able to, whatever it might be. That's where I get my pleasure from. And I have many moments of success that I celebrate in my mind. I was able to provide something recently. I'll not go into it, like a minor material thing that I was able to provide for my family recently, and that was a wee moment of success. We had so much hardship from when I went through an insolvency in 2009. We were able to buy a new car recently, and I was just, there's just been moments where I've thought, yeah, that's success. Not just material stuff. And by the way, it could be moments in my mind where being able to go self-employed, for example, that's success for me. I celebrate those moments in my mind. Getting those partnerships with major players that wouldn't have answered an email to me before, and then suddenly we're partners with them, and that's success for me. Building relationships with people is success for me. I have had some amazing, I have a great relationship with your good self. That's success for me, Pete. That's success for me. That's what success looks like for me. I put up a picture recently on the Think Network page about all the speakers on the stage at the end of the night getting their photograph taken, and everybody was ecstatic. Everybody, you could see the elation in everybody. That's success to me. Not how much money the event made. That was a mini success. That was by the by. That money comes and it goes. So like a current electricity just goes round. That's momentary. That's snapshot success. The elation that those people felt in that stage, and you could see it in their eyes in that picture. That's forever success. You look at that. That's forever. That picture will be there in 100 years. So pain and pleasure, all the same thing.
Do you love yourself, and do you value yourself?
Yes. Didn't always, but I do. And that has come through a lot of hard work, by the way. That didn't come naturally to me. Because my beliefs were what other people had impressed upon me about me. You're not good enough. Show maybe lack of pride, and maybe a lack of love, or whatever it might have been. And that created my own self-limiting beliefs that I wasn't good enough. But through hard work, through personal development, through the right people, through my father-in-law, through my wife, through my family, I've reached a place, Pete, I can honestly say that I do love me, and I am happy with me. And that's been a journey and a half to get there, more than any bloody license, I'll tell you. So,
you mentioned 2009, and obviously that was a particularly tough time. What's What's your takeaway now? What did you learn from that?
I learned from that there that first thing is I don't know everything. Second thing is collaboration is key. Strategic collaboration and collaboration with the right people. That's why I collaborate so much now. That's the biggest takeaway I can tell you. Firstly, humility, and realizing just because you've had some sort of success, you don't know everything and you're not going to know everything. That's the first thing. And the second thing is collaboration. Back then, you know, I knew it all and I knew nothing at the same damn time. And I realized that the hard way and found that the hard way. And 10 years and 11 years of hard work, hardship, and I suppose experience have taught me that be confident, be damn confident, but make sure it's humble confidence. Make sure you humbly believe in yourself, not arrogantly or cockily or whatever way people want to put it. Because people can get that twisted. People can get that twisted when you're confident. Oh, he's arrogant. He's in a wall. He thinks he knows it all. Look at him, them pictures in the social media. Well, if people think like that, that's on them. Because I know how I feel. I know what I'm doing, and guess what? I'm doing it. And you know, it's that's the biggest thing has been collaboration, but collaborating with the right people, strategic collaboration, not just working with everybody for everybody's sake and to be liked by everybody. No, you must surround yourself with like-minded people, and what is it? But the rising tide raises all ships or boats or whatever. I believe in that. I really believe in that, you know, and I have been lucky to benefit from. And collaboration is key, and it is, and I firmly believe that.
What's for you, I suppose, what's your intention here?
My intention is just to create a positive change and make my mark in the world through Think Network. Again, not through me personally and individually, but through the power of people, other people, and the movement that we've created with Think Network. That's ultimately what my goal is to make a positive change in the world through anybody that is affiliated with Think Network, that works, collaborates with Think Network, that is in any of our groups, that comes to any of our events, that is a member of our growing tribe that will be online on our site, our membership site that launches on the 2nd of October. So it's just to be a positive change in the world, and I believe we already are, and we will continue to be.
How do you define positive change?
I would define positive change as people doing good things with their life and empowering them and supporting them and helping them to do that, whether they are doing it in their community or whether they're doing it through their family or whether they're doing it through, you know, in one-to-ones or whatever. Like what I mean by that, you know, is, for example, I'll give you give you an example that might resonate. We have different groups within Think Network. We have accountability group, we have got a mastermind group, and we have a think tank. And particularly in the accountability group, we have got people as far away as in America in our group. We have people in our group from Scotland and people various parts of Ireland, and to be able to connect with people like that, and they're sharing their successes and their wins and their challenges and problems sometimes, and we're coming together and we're providing solutions, and then you're getting feedback from them saying, listen, really appreciated that call or that group or that chat or that webinar, and I've implemented that and my life has changed, my family are happier, I've been able to earn this, I've met that person. Like, that's positive change, Pete. That's positive change when somebody's able to, you know, when there's tangible improvements in somebody's life. That's positive change. Or indirectly, for example, we had an event last year, and I've said this multiple times. We had an event last year, and one of the speakers had suffered domestic abuse, child abuse, and a non-sexual related one. It was, and he was able to, he wanted to talk about it, right? And that was his coming out. He had never talked about that publicly, right? Aaron Watson is his name. Check out our YouTube channel, Think Resilience, Merchant Hotel, October last year. He spoke at that event, and since then he will tell you that he has been asked to speak multiple times to raise more awareness. Charities have been in contact, radio stations have been in contact, TV stations were in contact, and he is now a champion voice of that. Ironically, he's a voiceover coach, but he's a champion of that cause in Northern Ireland, and people have come forward as a result. That's positive change, Pete. There's multiple examples of positive change, and that's just one. And there's been other ones. And that's one I can tell you about. So for me, when you're doing when things like that are coming off the back of holding that event and creating that platform and giving somebody that opportunity, that's what I'm in this for. That's what I'm in this for.
What do you think is your soul's intention?
My soul's intention is just to make the world a better place, man, and just help and improve lives that I come into contact with as best I physically can, or emotionally can, or spiritually can. I think that's my soul's intention, is just to be a good person.
I mean, you mentioned really from 42 is when it all sort of changed. Was there a specific thing that changed that for you? And what?
42, but there wasn't a specific, well, the main thing in my life that changed everything was my father-in-law, Marshall McCollum, who I mentioned in the last podcast with you. He changed my life. And when I say changed my life, I'm going to say almost changed the direction of it. Believed in me when nobody else did. Seen something in me when nobody else did, or at least had never vocalized. He had the courage to vocalize it. He had the courage to point the finger and say, you've got something. I believe in you. You must try to be your best. You must fulfill your potential. I back you. I support you. I believe in you. I'd never known that before. And that probably set a fire in me. You know, I know I talk about 2 years ago, but really it's more like 10 years ago that, or more that things really, when the seed was planted, when the touch paper was lit. It's only 2 years ago that I found my full purpose, but I credit that to him.
That's interesting. So, you know, it hasn't been an epiphany. It's sort of not an immediate thing.
No.
And like the iceberg, it's 2 years is the bit that starts to show, but
yes,
the journey started a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you say to anyone that sort of is even sitting looking at your journey and going, God, I wish I was Gary. You know, I wish I had that drive, that purpose.
That purpose, follow your intuition and your instinct. If you're a good person, or you believe that you can be a good person or a better person, behave that way. Try and do good even when nobody else is around and nobody else is looking. Start within. If you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know what you don't even have a goal, you don't know where you're going, know that you are enough yourself. And when I know you're enough, look within. Everybody's searching for an answer. I say, well, not everybody, but too many people are searching for answers, searching for the next group, searching for the next event, searching for the next whatever. And them things all have a place, by the way. I sell them, or offer the services, sell them, whatever you want to call it. They provide an income for my family, and rightfully so, because that's the path I've chose. But what I'm saying is, and they all have a purpose. All those things, all the masterminds, all the groups, they have a purpose. But realize you are more. You have a worth that is stronger than any group or any network or any mastermind or any event or any other person. Has to start with you. Know that you are good enough, but then you must behave the same. You have integrity in your own soul and your own spirit and your own being. Be good when nobody else is looking. Do good things and the right thing when nobody else is looking. And for me, when I started to behave like that, I started to grow properly. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, if you can't be good, if you can't do the right thing when nobody else is looking, well, you're only lying to yourself. Like, if you want to grow, if you want to be this person that you believe that you can be, or you see somebody else and you want to emulate, and there's nothing wrong with using somebody as a benchmark to work, to be motivated by, to achieve. I do it all the time. I've seen people achieve great success, and it motivates me. Be motivated by other success. Don't envy it. If somebody's looking at me and thinking, God, he seems to have it all, this, that, and the other, at least he's talking like that, do not envy it. Never envy. Have a full heart towards that person and be glad for them. Appreciate them and think, I too could do that as well. I'm not meaning that about me per se. I think if somebody was looking at somebody very successful or perceived successful and they wanted to be like them and they were lost, firstly, look within, ground yourself, get your moral compass correct, because good things happen to good people. Real genuine good things happen to good people more often than not. And be a good person, work hard, believe in yourself, surround yourself with the right people, start setting many goals, start setting many achievable goals, which might sound contradictory to some of the stuff I say, but you have to start somewhere. Everybody has got you have to come out of the starting blocks somewhere. Start setting yourself many achievable goals. Achieve them, celebrate them, build your momentum, build your confidence, build your self-belief, build your network, build your circle. Are they like-minded? Look left and right. Is that who you want to be like? Is that people you aspire to be like? If it's not the right circle. I'm surrounded by people far cleverer than I am. Tangible success far more than I've achieved. And do you know why? Because I chose that circle. These people I look up to. They motivate me, Pete. It inspires me to improve. It's not by accident I'm doing what I'm doing. It's truly the law of attraction. That's what you're looking at here. I want to elevate and improve myself, and that's why I'm surrounded by people that are stretching me, growing me, challenging me. I'm learning from them. I get advice from yourself, from Dan, from multitude of too many to mention, and that's not by accident. That's by choice, and that's what I say to anybody: you have a choice. Don't be a victim of circumstance. Don't tell yourself you can't because nobody else did. Don't tell yourself you can't because you've failed multiple times publicly or privately even. Know that you can and you will, but you must desire it so much, and you have to go after it like your life depends on it if you're going to achieve the big stuff. And there's nothing wrong with not achieving the big stuff, by the way. Everybody's got a different purpose. Mine's just happens to be that, and that I can only really talk from that perspective.
You've used the term a couple of times there, all in.
Yes.
Can you describe what that means to
Yeah,
you?
I could talk all day about that, Pete. All in is all in every way, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, all in with a full heart, the whole way in. Find your passion, find out how to make it your life and an income from it, and you will do it like not many other people do it. There's a very small percentage of people, I believe, that do that sort of thing. They find their passion, they find something they love, they make a living from it, and they change the industry, or they're creative disruptors in what they do or whatever. There are very few people do that. I believe very, very few people do it. And I thank God genuinely from my heart that I am doing what I love for the first time in my life. I feel my heart is full doing what I'm doing. Talking to you right now about this, my heart is full. I would rather be doing nothing else than doing what I'm doing right now and every damn day after.
Are you where you're supposed to be?
Yes, exactly. Exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. But guess what? Here's one for you. I'll not be staying exactly in this spot. I am where I'm supposed to be, but I'm not where I'm going to be. Um, Relentless drive, progression, and improvement. I am where I'm supposed to be, but don't get too comfortable there, or you'll stay there. It's like looking back, at stuff. Don't stare, or you'll end up there. It's like, I don't focus on the here and now too much, because that's where you'll stay. And I have just a greater purpose. I have more things that I want to do, more improvements I want to make personally, more improvements I want to make professionally, and greater work to do with Think Network on a national, international level, serving other people around the world. So, I am where I'm supposed to be, but I'm not where I'm going to be.
You mentioned their purpose. Can you elaborate on this for us?
Yeah, my purpose is closely linked with my mission for Think Network. My purpose is to change the world one event at a time, one connection at a time, one webinar at a time, one group at a time, one network at a time, one mastermind at a time, one think tank at a time, one connection at a time, one conversation at a time, to change the world in a positive vein, all those together and more. That's my purpose. That's my purpose, and I've created a vehicle to do that. We're still a baby. We were still in the infancy. I feel like we're in the starting blocks, but yet I feel I'm at the top of the mountain at the same time. It's like it's a funny feeling I have. It's a funny mindset I have. I feel like we have nothing and everything at the same time. I feel like a novice and a champion all at the one time. I feel like a baby and the number one in the world all at the same time. I've fear of failure and satisfaction of great success all at the same time. No money and all the money all at the same time. Pain and pleasure all. I said that earlier. I said that to you earlier. You asked me what the difference. I said it's all the same. I'm feeling all these things all at the same time. Um, check my bios and any of my social media. I'm maybe not. I'm maybe not being true to. I'm being too humble there. And some of them said we're the UK and Ireland's number one empowerment platform. I'm probably being too humble there. They got what you want, Pete.
I do. What's your mantra?
What's my mantra? I just want to do the right thing, Pete, and the good thing. My essence of what I have developed into, I suppose, or where I am in my life, and I just want to, I want to do the right thing and the good, and I want to do good things and the right thing, and I feel that my purpose has given me. I feel I've created a vehicle to allow me to express my, I suppose, personal mantra. Personal mantra is just to do the right thing and the good thing as much as I can, as successfully as I can for everybody, including me and my family.
What's a really proud thing that stands out for you? Proud moment.
Going full time with Think Network yesterday or the day before. That's the most recent proud thing that I could say to you. It's a very proud moment for me because I reflect on the support that I have from people. I reflect on the encouragement that I've had from people. I reflect on the belief that I've received from people. I reflect on the hard work that I've put in. I reflect on different things, and it fills me with pride. And I think the day before yesterday was the first morning I woke up fully self-employed with Think Network, and it was a beautiful feeling. You know, a lot of people be stressed about stuff like that or angsty about where's the next income or whatever. I just felt I have a gratitude journal and an affirmation journal that I use every morning, and my affirmation yesterday was I wondered to have it. It was it feels just right being here. It feels as I knew it should. It feels right. In fact, it probably feels a wee bit better. You know, it feels like I knew it would. Um, and that was, I think it was words to that effect with my affirmations anyway. And so I think that's my proudest moment to date. Not proudest moment, but just one of them.
Sure. It's good. I mean, it's good to be in that state and that flow, because you mentioned flow earlier as a topic, and saying that's a feeling for you.
Mm.
Can you describe that?
Flow for me is when you hit a sweet spot in your mental state that equals your productivity or what you're achieving or what you're doing. Or I get into that. It happens to me a lot. No, you don't. You don't stay in it permanently. But for me, I don't stay in it permanently. It's like it's for me. It's just when the law of vibration meets the law of attraction, and I'm in that flow. I'm in that state of zen. That I'm in that flow state where like that I just intuitively know what I'm doing is correct, and I know what I have to do, and I go and do it, and you see the results, and it's just a beautiful thing. And then, you know, there's times where you're not, to put that into context, there's times when you're not like that and you're overthinking and you're thinking too much. You know, is that right? Is that wrong? Will I do this? I need that advice. I feel insecure. What if that doesn't go well? You know, am I the right person? You know what I mean? That's when you're not in flow. That's to give people context to what I'm saying, you know. And then, but when you are in flow, uh, that's a good moment. And I'll tell you how aware I am when I am in flow. I actually know that I am, and I'll actually say to myself, just make hay now while the sun shines here. When you're in this mood here, that's when I go balls to the wall with certain things. That's why you'll see with some of my patterns of behavior, Pete. Look back through some announcements I've made recently. Like there was 3 or 4 announcements, one after the other. Remember, pivotal, airport, or boom, 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 boom. And me and you were chatting about it privately, and you said, "God, that's crazy." You know, a lot of success, very quick succession. That's me in a flow state. That's me when I'm in that zone where I'm just intuitively knowing what to say, the right thing to say, the right connection, the right timing there. You're connecting with that person, you're making that happen, you're as confident as a mother. I'll not say it. And you're in that state. You're in that flow state. And other people feed off that too. The people that you're dealing with and connecting with, they see it too and they feel it too. And that's why you get then the rewards and the abundance that you have. So that's what flow means to me. That's my perception or my perspective on flow, the flow state. I don't know if that's categorically right or wrong, but that's my
There's no right or wrong answer. It's your answer, so that's good enough.
yeah, yeah.
What's your superpower?
Me, just as a human being. That's you know, I said to somebody, my superpower is me,
It's beautiful.
me, and who I am, and my personality, and just who I am. I am the X factor. I am the was Gavin Wall talks about the secret sauce.
There ain't no secret sauce. There ain't no X factor. There ain't no magic wand. It's you, and it's all you. It's the same way you doing what you're doing. It's the same way, you know, different people doing what they're doing. They are the magic. You know, I am my superpower. Me as a human being. I don't need, I'm not searching for an answer, because guess what? I am the answer. I'm not searching for the answer. It's part, even as the evidence picked by some of my actions. I was looking at the TED platform and wanting to be TED. What did I do? Be myself. Think Network. We are number one empowerment. We are the answer. You know, I was good enough. We are the answer. I didn't want to copycat anybody. It wasn't, I used them as inspiration. That was inspiration for me. And rightfully so. Benchmark. That's what you should be doing. We should be looking at best in class and then looking to emulate it and do it better. And that's what you're witnessing right now. That's what you're witnessing right now. The whole world just doesn't know it yet. But it's exciting for me to let them know. And I know that they'll know damn soon anyway. This call spade a spade. They're going to know damn soon. They're going to know next year. So, but they already know anyway. I know they already know. So it's exciting. It's satisfying. And that'll be another proud moment for me too when you have international recognition for the work that you're doing. Not on a personal level, not the Gary Doherty show. It's Think Network and the vehicle that it provides and the platform it provides and the people affiliated with. It'll be their recognition and everybody's collectively, collaboratively. It'll be everybody's recognition. And I'll get great satisfaction from that, and rightfully so. And I say that with a deserving and embracing it with a deserving attitude and knowing that it is okay and it is right for me to feel that satisfaction and the abundance that brings to me, my family, and everybody associated. And I didn't always feel like that either, but now I genuinely feel that. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with the whole world as well.
What do you think is the universe's intention, or God? I mean, you mentioned God a couple of times, so what do you think is the intention there?
For me, or what? I think the intention is exactly what I'm doing. I think the intention that God has for me is what I'm doing right now. I think that's his intention for me. That's how aligned I am with what I'm doing. I truly believe that. I am, we've touched on it already, I am where I'm supposed to be. And the higher powers to be, God and whoever, God, I am where I'm supposed to be. And we're doing some powerful stuff at the moment, and have been. So no, I am where I'm supposed to be. I say that. You see, the more I would talk about it, I feel like in a state of zen. Really, to be honest with you, I feel very calm. I feel very confident. I feel very assured. I feel very comfortable. We don't want to be too comfortable, but I do feel I am where I'm supposed to be.
What would come with comfort? You said that a few times, that you don't want to get comfortable.
Complacency comes with comfort.
Because it kind of contradicts with flow.
Yeah, I did say about flow. Flow's okay. Flow is a temporary state for me. Flow's good. Flow's great. I don't believe it's possible to be in a flow state 24/7. If we are human beings after all, we're not robots. You don't, pick a flow state and away you go, and that's what you are to your batteries run out. It's like we're human beings, and we have chemical imbalances and all the rest of it. The brain's a funny thing, and we're human beings. Let's not forget that we're human beings, and it is impossible to be in a flow state all the time. So but I don't relate flow state to being that comfortable. A flow state's just a high energy state for me, where I'm smashing things left, right, and center all over the place. and making things happen. It's like it's like a high energy vibration for me. That it's not comfort. Comfort's a state of mind, and I just don't want to be too comfortable. Comfort to me, complacency sets in. Complacency sets in, laziness sets in, of the mind, of the attitude, of the mindset, of your intention, and I'm not going there. It's not somewhere I want to be. Not for me. So,
Fair enough.
People can say I'm wrong, but guess what? I'm right. To me, I'm right, and if I'm right, to me, I'm right. That's it.
Good enough.
You know what I mean?
Let's get a few intentions out there. What's on the bucket list for you then?
How about speaking at a TED event, never mind a TEDx event? How about global recognition, where they turn around and say, okay, you want to change the world? There's a platform. You've done all your apprenticeship. You've done your apprenticeship. Come on here. Let's get you on the TED stage. Let's be a globally leading speaker. Even though I'm not an experienced public speaker, so to speak. You know, but
when's that going to happen, Gary?
Whenever I decide that it's a goal, that's when it'll ultimately happen. When I decide that it's a goal, it'll happen. It'll happen when I decide. That's when it'll happen. It's not a goal yet. Luckily for them, I have other things to do. In the meantime, I have other stuff. I was going to say, I have bigger fish to fry in the meantime. As much as that's a big goal, the stuff that I'm doing now is even bigger, because it's here, it's now, it needs executed, we need to action it, and we need to walk the walk with certain things, and we are and we will. But if that's just me picking something out of thin air for you.
Guilty pleasure for you?
Guilty pleasure for me, God. Can that be anything, or about anything, or
anything at all?
Guilty pleasure. A guilty pleasure. What do you characterize as a guilty pleasure? Give me an example.
I've had everything from chocolate.
All right, okay.
Netflix.
Something that people wouldn't really know about me, that I'm interested in as a guilty pleasure. I'm very, very interested in combat sport. Ultimate Fighting Championship particularly, and boxing. They're both guilty pleasures of mine. Used to think I was sort of reasonably handy at it as well myself years ago, when I done a bit of white collar boxing and stuff in my 30s and stuff like that. So guilty pleasure is combat sport.
I was going to say, what is sort of leisure and pleasure for you then? What's downtime?
Pleasure's family. Pleasure's family. Everything outside of that's is almost a choice. But my family's my family, and that's my immediate family, my wife, my children, my 2 grandsons. They are me, and that is my pleasure. Everything else is I'm choosing to achieve whatever, or to pursue this. It's a choice, a strategic choice. I don't mean that cold or calculating, but it's like when I divide the two in my mind and you ask the question, one is there, like the air is there, like God is there, my family is there, they're my pleasure. That's where I'm able to just, enjoy everything about it. And I don't particularly invite, when we talked about pain and pleasure, they're all the one. I suppose that's the separate for me. That's where maybe I get not switch off, but mentally separate the two. Haven't really thought about it before.
Circle back around then. What's your fire in the belly?
My fire in my belly is the same. I align my why to my fire in my belly. My fire in my belly is for my children and my wife to be proud of the man that I am, and becoming, and some of the change or pathways that they have supported me to create. That's the fire in my belly. Be interesting to hear what I said in the first podcast. I think it's something similar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it was?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's close. Close. I'd love to. I'm going to match the wording. So
I do, please, and let me know, because I'd be interested to know that, because yeah, I think you'll find it hasn't changed much. It's just the journeys change and the landscape changes, but really and truly the essence of my fire in my belly should be pretty close, if not the exact same. I'll be surprised if it's different.
You're the epitome of fire in the belly, Gary. Credit to you.
Thank you, my friend. Still a major work in progress. So, but I'm learning from people like yourself and other people that I'm affiliated with, and I'm very, very honoured for that, genuinely. And so, I still feel like a baby. And I don't know, a novice and a champion at the same time.
Just what age do you feel that
That's
you
how
are?
I feel like I have nothing and have it all.
What age do you? 25.
25, and I look about 35, and I'm 44. So I'm 44, I look 34, and I feel 24.
Love it. Gary, it's been an absolute pleasure. There's some big events. Obviously, the 1st September is going to be the announcement, so it's going to be fantastic. The actual TED event is coming up on the 29th of January.
Yes.
There's some Think events coming up as well. Do we know dates just now?
2nd of October, Think Inspired in Belfast in the 10 Square Hotel. The room holds 300 odd people, but with the current environment that we're in, we'll probably have between 70 and 80 in it. Again, unless government restrictions don't allow that, and we only are allowed 30 in it, the event will go ahead. We will have 30 in it, and we will do the event, and that's just the way it'll happen. So that event goes ahead. I will be, now that I am in full time in Think Network, I have got other plans that I'm going to accelerate for Think Network, and that is a lot of added value for anybody listening to this here. And guess what? They don't have to part with one penny. It's not all about money. Money's a byproduct of it all, and we all have to earn a living. But I am acutely aware that people follow Think Network, and I want them to get a lot of added value without having to spend a penny sometimes. It's not all about selling a ticket for me. We are going to be having some really cool webinars. For example, an exclusive, we're going to have a webinar, Think Autism. Autism is something that's dear to my heart. I have 2 grandsons that one is diagnosed and the other one we just know, and he is being assessed. But as parents and grandparents, with having one, we know the other. 2 beautiful boys, and it's just a cause, and it's an area that's very close to my heart. So I am going to use the platform that we have created to create more awareness, more engagement, more education, more knowledge, and we're going to share some ideas that are worth spreading. Not to steal a strapline, but we're still in the strapline. So, and I'm going to do that event within the next 2 weeks.
Brilliant.
I'm just doing it. It's going to be a free registration event. It'll be via Eventbrite. Register your details. Register free of charge, and come and hear from some neurodiversity specialists. Autism is something that affects 1 out of every 2 or 3 families in Northern Ireland, and we're going to have some people that will blow your mind talking about that. Will maybe change your thinking about it, will maybe stimulate your thinking on it, will maybe challenge your beliefs and thought processes and how people deal with other people that have it. And we're going to do that. So that's what people are going to see more of. Free added value. Not everything's about money.
Love it. Gary, it's been a pleasure. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate everything.
Looking forward to having it on, and exciting times ahead. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, my friend.